You've been lied to. So have I. So's everyone. Lied to about grief and the best way to manage it, whether it's my own grief or the grief of other people. My name's Michael Turner. I'm a hospital chaplain and I've been involved in chaplaincy for many years. I've worked in both general hospitals and psychiatric hospitals. So every day I get to sit with people who are grieving and hear their stories. And as a chaplain, I've heard a lot of things said to people who are grieving that are just not helpful or effective, and in fact indicate the sort of messages we've received in our culture about grief and the best way to deal with it. Let's see if any of this sounds familiar. If we're dealing with our own grief, we should keep it to ourselves. Don't burden other people with what's bothering us, what's hurting us. We'll only upset other people. We don't want to do that. And don't grieve too long. Get over it as quickly as possible. You know life goes on, right? But what about if I'm dealing with someone else's grief? It seems like the main message I've received about that is avoid them. Stay away from them. If you go near them, you're only going to remind them of the loss. You're only going to say something that's going to upset them. You don't want to do that, so stay away. But if you are courageous enough to approach a loved one who's lost someone, then you're going to probably want to share your sufferings and how you survived and you've gone on and carried on to make a life for yourself, and in some way impart hope to them that it won't always feel like this. Either that, or you'll want to offer simple platitudes or silver linings to try and make them feel better, because that seems to be our main gig if we approach people who are grieving. We want to make them feel better. We want them to feel better for having had an interaction with us. And the problem is, the use of platitudes and silver linings, they just don't work. You see, you can't fix someone who's grieving. All you can really do is listen and try and understand the impact of the loss on this person. And so I've decided I'm going to make a series of videos to teach you how to do that. Just that. How to listen and understand what someone is going through in order to really be helpful and effective with them. Because you see, as a hospital chaplain, I've heard many things said to people who are grieving that are just unhelpful. What about these platitudes? It's God's will. They're in a better place now. You know, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. They had a good innings. I remember being with a woman who had suffered a miscarriage, and a family member said, "But at least you could fall pregnant. I can't even get pregnant." You see? And it's not that people are trying to be cruel. It's not like they're setting out to be unhelpful. They're just following the training we've received. This is what we do. So I'd like to change that. I'd like to teach you a way of engaging with another which is really unique. It's really powerful. It's really elegant. It builds rapport quickly, and it creates a deeper connection. And it's something that I use every day in the hospital, but it's not just useful in the hospital. It's useful in every relationship. I don't care whether it's personal relationships or working relationships. All your relationships will improve if you can learn to communicate with another person the way I'm going to teach you. Each week I plan to upload a new video, and I hope you join me, because I promise you the journey will be worth it. At the end of this, you will be a much better communicator, a much better empathizer, and a much better listener. And so I ask you to join me on this journey together. Tune in each week. And if you are learning things that you think are helpful, then share them with other people you love, because the more people who will begin to communicate with another, especially another that's hurting, in this world now where there's so much grief, so much loss, so much suffering, if we can teach people to do that in a way which is effective, it can only be a good thing. Okay? Thank you for listening. Look forward to my next video, and God bless.